Airlines Center. Minnesota is 11-38. Dallas comes in at 31 wins and 18 losses. Rick Carlisle is the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Carlisle's team this year, again, 31-18, 362 career victories for Carlisle. And the starting five that he puts on the floor tonight looks a little bit different. We'll address that here in just a moment. But the five that he is starting, Jason Kidd and Jason Terry in the backcourt. Up front, the forwards are Josh Howard and Sean Marion. And Eric Dampier is in the middle at center. Dirk Nowitzki not starting. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Hello. But he's addressing the crowd right now.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out. As we all know, we got the All-Star game here in Dallas next week, which will be a blast. Yes. And I'm honored to represent a great franchise as the Mavericks and great fans, you guys. Thanks.
Dirk Nowitzki addressing the crowd here at American Airlines Center, getting everyone ready for All-Star Weekend next week as the Mavs take on the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight here at American Airlines Center. Let's continue on with the setting of the starting lineups. Of course, Minnesota's head coach is Kurt Rambis, the longtime Lakers assistant. His team this year, 11 wins and 38 losses. He has also been a head coach with the Lakers on an interim basis back in the lockout season. And his starting lineup tonight, these five, Johnny Flynn and Corey Brewer are the guards, and up front the forwards, Ryan Gomes and Al Jefferson. Ryan Hollins in the middle at center, the former Maverick in his fourth year from UCLA. Mark Followell, Bob Ortigal, and it's Mavs basketball here on Fox Sports Southwest, joined by Jeff Skin Wade. Dirk not starting because he was late to shoot around this afternoon. So Skin, it's Howard and Marion starting at the forwards.
Well, fancy that, Mark. Dirk not getting the start. First time since 1999 he's going to play in an NBA game in which he did not start for disciplinary reasons. And when you look at Minnesota's starting lineup with Al Jefferson, who's a traditional back-to-the-basket scorer, I'm wondering, Coach, couldn't they have just made him wear a pair of Chuck Taylors and short shorts for discipline and just let him go ahead and get the start?
No, you're dead wrong. I'll tell you what, when you're a starter and you are late for a shoot-around, then you have to accept the discipline. You put the matchups aside in that particular case, and you go with the discipline.
Dallas controls the tip. Mavericks and Minnesota Timberwolves underway. 31-18 the record again for Dallas, and 11-38 for Minnesota. The Timberwolves have not played since Sunday when they defeated the New York Knicks 112-91. One of two straight victories they earned last weekend on Friday night at home last week. A week ago tonight, they defeated the Clippers 111-97. Tonight's officials, James Capers, Rodney Mott, and Olandis Poole. The shot by Kidd was missed to start the game for Dallas. And Minnesota looking for their first opportunity to score, and they convert on a short jumper by Al Jefferson.
And that's one of the things that Jefferson has improved, Mark, his face-up jump shot. He came into the league with a strong back-to-the-basket game, but he's improved the face-up.
Howard defended by Ryan Gomes, and Howard in the lane and got it. Howard making his 8th start of the year, appearing in his 29th game, averaging 19 or averaging 12 a game. He scored 19 on Wednesday. Johnny Flynn, rookie out of Syracuse. Baseline jumper. And Dampier. First to put a hand on the would-be rebound. It's eventually controlled by Marion, although credited to Eric Dampier. Dampier back on the floor after missing Wednesday night's game against Golden State. Had a good day of practice yesterday. Did some extra strength and extra conditioning work lately to try to keep that left knee that's bothered him as sound as possible. Here he is posting up Ryan Hollins, and the defender digs down Flynn, poked it away. Marion to beat the shot clock, rims it out. A minute 40 gone by in a tie game. Minnesota this year, very poor team on the road, 3 wins, 21 losses. Mavericks are 15-8 on their home floor. Pulling through, driving, and on the reverse, Ryan Hollins.
I can't believe he didn't get the dunk because he's just so explosive around the basket, but he didn't get there.
We saw that explosiveness last year, Bob, in the 27 games of the regular season and 9 playoff games that he appeared in.
He did get the finish at the other end. Terry misses the perimeter shot. Minnesota, a good rebounding team, Mark.
For the year, out rebounding their opponents by an average of a little over 1 per game. 7 on the shot clock. Here's Ryan Gomes. Back again to Hollins. Now he tries to go up for the dunk and draws the contact to the foul. Hollins will head to the free throw line. He's had back-to-back good games. Hollins for the year is averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds, but in the last 2 games, both Minnesota wins. He had 16 against New York, and he had 19 against the Clippers. And in those 2 games, he was 14 of 19 from the floor.
He's a very lively player with an excellent vertical jump. He's got good size, long arms, and you get him around the basket, and he looks to dunk everything. Sure is unusual to see Nowitzki on that bench this early in the game.
One of 2 at the free throw line for Hollins. He's got 3 of the 5 for Minnesota. These 2 teams played November 13. Mavericks had a workmanlike 89-77 win. And they'll play 2 more times in early March. Here on the 3rd, there on the 8th. Offensive foul, Sean Marion. First foul on Marion. Mavericks' first team turnover there.
Oh, a double team.
They got it out of Al Jefferson's hands, and he goes to Corey Brewer, who connects on a 3.
Tells you a little bit about the game plan for Dallas. They'll probably mix it up. There are definitely times when they're going to double teams up.
Brewer, 23-year-old native of Portland, Tennessee, 7th pick at 07. Hits the 3-pointer. Wrap around. Marion to Dan Pierre, who hammers it home.
Oh, and Mavericks are going to get it back. Minnesota did not get out of bounds with the ball when they went to throw it in. That's a real mental mistake, that one is. Wow.
Those are the kind of turnovers you get when you're having an 11-win season, Coach.
And they are the team that leads the NBA in most turnovers per game. Minnesota over 16. Minnesota doubling up Dallas, 8-4. Sliding kick by Terry. Jason Kidd buries a 3. 93rd 3 of the year. Kidd came into the game 21st in the NBA, shooting 40.4% on 3s.
He got those feet set once again, and once that happens with him, he's just a much better shooter.
10 on the shot clock. Jefferson cross court, and a defensive 3-second call on Jason Terry. Technical foul and a free throw.
I'd be interested to see if that was actually the full 3 seconds, because Damp showed hard on that Corey Brewer screen and roll and recovered, and by that time Marion had picked up his man. I don't know that that was a full 3 seconds.
No, the 3-second call was on Jason Terry.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I thought they called that on Damp.
Yeah, he was down on the low block on the left-hand side, and he did not get out of the lane. I was looking right at that.
Flynn with the free throw. His first point, and a 2-point lead. 5 on the shot clock. It's Hollins. Into the corner. Brewer's already made 1 3, and this one he hits to beat the shot clock. 34% this year on 3s, but he's hit 2 for 2 to start the game.
Pretty good job of rotating the basketball.
Now Brewer commits a foul. His first team foul on Minnesota. 4 minutes off the clock here on the first quarter. And the Timberwolves lead by 5. You just tuned in. Dirk didn't start tonight, late for shoot-around. Ryan Hollins with a steal on Kidd's pass in the lane. And Hollins brings it up the floor and quickly tries to find a guard. Jefferson from Johnny Flynn. Minnesota with a nice start to the game. They've knocked down 5 of their first 6 shots. And with 7:42 remaining in the first quarter, they lead Dallas 14-7. Mavs have started games well as of late. They've led after the first quarter in 7 of the last 8 games, but Minnesota has an early 7-point lead.
Of women's college basketball on Fox Sports Southwest.
Minnesota doubling up Dallas, 7:42 remaining in the first quarter. The Timberwolves lead at 14-7. Maverick fans, here's your chance to win a Blu-ray disc player, $100 of Mav Gear gift card worth $100, beg your pardon. A night in a Mavs suite, or an 82-inch Mitsubishi LCD TV. Just text Terry right now to 46287 for your chance to win. Watch Mavs live after the game to find out if you're tonight's Fox Watch winner. There's Jason Terry making the start tonight, his 9th consecutive start. In the 8 previous games he started, averaging 18 points a game, shooting 47.5% for the floor. We'll see when Dirk gets in. Marion screens for Terry. And Marion to the baseline. Dampier going after the rebound. Marion going after it. Dallas will get it back. Second chance opportunity for 3, Josh Howard. Marion again with the offensive rebound. Minnesota leads by 7 early on. Johnny Flynn, the defender against Jason Terry. They double him. Marion, the drive, and he'll get the bounce this time.
And those second chance opportunities are so huge against a great rebounding team like Minnesota, with another good rebounder in Kevin Love getting ready to check in.
He's at the scorer's table and leads Minnesota, rebounding it at a clip of nearly 12 per game.
He works at it. He's just a really, really hard worker.
Jefferson, a shot fake, got Dampier up in the air, and a foul committed in the act of shooting. And Jefferson to the line with 6:48 remaining in the first quarter.
Mark, we talked about his ability to use that shot fake in the open. If he's down low with his back to the basket, he'll use the shot fake and come up and under. If he's faced up like that, he'll use that shot fake and prefers to go to his right, which is precisely what he did.
And he'll go to the free throw line, where he's hit 70% this season. Got fouled by Howard, which is Howard's first.
He's a ton. Let me tell you what, this guy is strong, and he's strong all over, not just lower body, but lower body, upper body. Dirk is going to enter the game right now.
Kevin Love goes in for Ryan Hollins, and now Dirk in for Sean Marion. So you'll have a lineup of Kidd, Terry, Howard, Dirk, and Dampier. And Jefferson on the free throw line with one more free throw attempt. Trying to stretch Minnesota's lead back to 7. Comes up short. Howard rebounds. Nowitzki coming off the bench in a game for the first time since April of 1999. Jason Terry over Kevin Love on the money. Going left to the baseline.
They did a good job taking the pass to Dirk away, and Terry recognized that right away and just went up for the jump shot.
December of 99, beg your pardon, not April of 99. Was Dirk's last appearance off the bench. A long time ago, nonetheless.
Yes, I guess.
Johnny Flynn, a three, the third three hit by Minnesota. Corey Brewer had 2, now Flynn has 1. And Minnesota's lead is back to 7. There's Kidd, and he hits a 3.
Once again, he just gets those feet set, takes his time. How he's improved that three-point shot to me throughout his career is just amazing.
Now he's 5th in NBA history and made threes with 1,580 as of that. Jefferson a jumper on the money. Minnesota has just sizzled to start the game. They are 7 out of 8 for the floor, and they just got a steal. The steal by Ryan Gomes. The lead for the Timberwolves is 6. To Jefferson on the baseline. And Dirk grabs the rebound. Dallas and Minnesota played 2 very competitive games in here last year. The thrilling comeback in December. Dallas rallied from down 29, and Jason Terry winning the other game. The 81st game of the season when he had to hit the baseline jumper with .2 remaining. Johnny Flynn for 3. Jason Terry rebounds. Minnesota's now missed their last 2 shots after starting 7 of 8. Dirk gets on the board. Dirk coming into tonight 7th in the league at 25 points a game, and a 20.7 rebound game against Golden State the other night. A game that Dallas won 110-101, ending a 3-game losing skid. Kevin Love's improved his range this year, and he hits a 3.
Yes, he has. He has increased his range. He will surprise you a little bit.
Last year, he made only 2 threes out of 19 attempted. This is his 18th made 3 of the year. He's shooting 38% from long distance. Floater is made by Josh Howard, and cuts the Minnesota lead down to 5.
And to that end, Mark, he was a pretty good outside shooter in college. He's getting more opportunities to take those outside shots this year.
Rebound Dallas had a chance to run. Jason Terry drives on Love and draws the foul. 3:58 remaining first quarter. First foul on Kevin Love at Minnesota with their second team foul. Ryan Hollins, after a brief rest to return, and Al Jefferson takes a seat on the bench.
Jefferson, Hollins, and Love, they kind of rotate that 4 or 5 position. Those guys are in and out of there all the time. But Not bad. They're not bad. Minnesota's not bad inside where they've had problems. They've lost a lot of close games, and they've lost them at, you guessed it, once again, young and at the guard positions. Mistakes, possibly turnovers.
Damian Wilkins in for Ryan Gomes. Drew Gooden in for Eric Dampier. Jason Terry on the free throw line. Minnesota does look fresh tonight, but they should. They haven't played since Sunday when they defeated the Knicks in Minnesota.
Pretty unusual this time of the year to get a 4-day layoff.
Especially since a 4-day layoff for everyone is coming up next week.
Yes.
4 days or more. Mavs, after the February 9th game in Denver, won't play again for a full week on Tuesday, February 16th in Oklahoma City.
That was a really good shot fake by Hollins that time. He really went high with the ball and make that look like a shot, which is what you want to do.
Roddy Beaubois in for Jason Kidd at the 3:46 mark of the first quarter. Lamont Sessions, third year from Nevada, spent 2 years with the Bucks and now in his first year with the Timberwolves. He goes in and Johnny Flynn takes a seat. Mavs are at 3 team fouls for the quarter. As Terry, I beg your pardon, Dirk just got his first. Sessions in the lane to Hollins with the hook shot that rattles out. Early on, the Mavs have the rebounding edge at 8-5. Mavs have out-rebounded opponent only 3 times in the last 12 games. But they've got the early edge of the boards, and here's Dirk throwing up a shot that almost goes in. He earns a trip to the line for 2 with the foul on Hollins.
Turnabout is fair play. That's exactly what happened at the other end of the floor to Nowitzki. Nowitzki now makes it happen to Hollins.
And you know that Hollins is going to buy on a shot fake. That's his game.
He wants to block shots.
And give Jet some credit. Really nice job of keeping that dribble alive when they collapsed down in the lane and then working until he found Dirk.
2 is good. He doubles back with a 3.
You make a good shot fake here. See how high he went with the ball? And you've got Hollins up in the air, and he is vulnerable. Dirk's still putting it up. So many times we have seen him make shots like that when he has drawn the foul. He was close again.
Corey Brewer went out, and Wayne Ellington went in for Minnesota. Ellington, the most outstanding player of last year's NCAA tournament run for North Carolina. They, of course, won the title, and Ellington was drafted 28th last summer. They wanted a spin lob from Ellington to Love, but Drew Gooden denied it. Now Sessions over Beaubois, and he'll get the bounce. Minnesota was probably expecting a little bit better performance this year out of Sessions, who after averaging over 12 points a game last year is averaging about 7.5 this season. Defensive rebound for Kevin Love. Minnesota leads by 4. In the lane, Ryan Hollins, and it bounces off the iron. No good. The lineup for Dallas is Beaubois, Terry, Howard, Gooden, and Dirk. And Gooden spots up on the baseline. Howard off the screen. Gets into the paint. Gooden into the paint. Oh, nice little finish. Dipsy-do move by Drew Gooden.
He avoided the block shot after making the good shot fake.
Timeout, 2:24 left in the first quarter. Mavericks fell behind by 7 early on. They pulled back to within 2. T-Wolves 25, Mavs 23. How you can win the giant Dirk bobblehead, we'll tell you next.
Well, you know, obviously you shouldn't throw rocks if you don't live in a glass house with your pelican head skin.
Oh my goodness, you know my name? How do you know who I am?
I watched the broadcast. At first I didn't like you. Obviously you stepped on Mark Followell a little too much, but I kind of like you now.
Well, the pacing's getting better.
That was the first exclusive interview that the giant Dirk bobblehead granted, and that giant Dirk bobblehead will be given away with a raffle the week following All-Star Weekend, February 15th to the 19th. Now, people are buying tickets tonight, and tickets are also available at the Mav Zone for $5 during the All-Star Jam session at the Convention Center, February 11th to the 13th. And remember that all proceeds from the sale of raffle tickets for the life-size Dirk bobblehead will go to the Mavs Foundation.
A very nice pick and roll. The execution was good between Sessions and Love.
And a good get by Skin on the first interview. as Jason Terry goes to the free throw line here with 2:04 left in the first quarter.
Even if I kind of lucked my way into it because I snuck up and just unveiled the Dirk bobblehead, I didn't expect it to talk to me, but that was a fortunate get. It's a little intimidating, man.
That's one of the more prouder moments of your life, is it not?
I've lived a very unachievable life. There hasn't been a whole lot of good stuff there, Coach. But yes, the first interview with the Dirk bobblehead was right up there.
Nobody can take that away from you.
They can't. Until that tape is erased, no one can take it away from me.
It lives on forever now, in perpetuity.
You know, whoever wins that
on the Mavs broadcast Facebook page. Now,
Mark,
so
you didn't tell anybody that whoever wins that bobblehead, gets skinned too.
Oh, really? And I wasn't aware of that either. I'm going to have to put a call into the wife and say I'm not going to be home for a while.
84% free throw shooter Jason Terry made them both. Foul on Beaubois and count the basket for Sessions. Beaubois first. Sessions with 4 off the bench. Minnesota shooting 65%. And they get another free throw here. Looking to go in front by 5 with 1:57 left in the first quarter. When coaches stress defense, they never want to look up and see 30-point quarters allowed, and here it is.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I looked at the scoreboard. I went, Coach Carlisle's not going to like this. That's too many points.
Marion back in the game.
Doesn't matter who you're playing.
Jason Terry on the drive, looking for Marion, and he will scoop it up. Oh, and it almost got tipped in inadvertently by Kevin Love. Now it's 4-on-2, running the floor. Sessions with a floater, and tipped by Marion, but Ellington gets in front of Terry, and Minnesota regains possession. The Timberwolves with the ball, leading by 5, late first quarter. Back down by Holland, and blocked. Jason Terry against Ellington, tipped in by Beaubois. Roddy B scores his first bucket.
You got the 3 guys down the floor that time. You had Terry, Beaubois, and Marion. So you got that liveliness again, like quickness and speed.
Love with a jab step and a jumper off the glass, no good. Final minute of the first quarter. Gooden's pass, hard off Sessions, and then it squirts through the legs of Marion, and it's out off the Matrix. The Mavs commit a turnover, and that's been a problem area for them in the first quarter. They have 4 now. They've shot nearly 53% on offense. They've just turned it over 4 times, and they've also been hurt by the fact that Minnesota has connected on 4 threes on this end. Sessions in the lane. Missed on a couple of those teardrops.
It's a nice way to get a 2-for-1. You don't stop the ball penetration, they get right at the rim.
6-second differential, so the Mavericks will get it back and should be able to get a decent look.
Really happy that Beaubois was aware of that situation. He picked up that message from the bench.
Down low to Hollins. Had it rejected a moment ago. He gets into the lane, gives it up to Kevin Love late in the shot clock. Eluding Dirk and hits. 5 seconds left. Wolves up 3. Beaubois launches from the corner for the tie. Dirk with a shot, that was late. They'll check to make sure. They'll review it to be certain, but James Capers was right on top of the call immediately, and it did appear to be after the buzzer sounded. First quarter is over. Minnesota with a 3-point lead over Dallas. Mavs at home for the 2nd straight game. Dallas looking for their 32nd win of the year. They got Dan Pierre back in the starting lineup tonight. Mavs shoot 52% of the first quarter. The first quarter, Dallas 53%.
Let's go, Mavs.
Beaubois against Ramon Sessions. Dirk down on the block, looks for Beaubois, launches the 3 and drills it. Ties the game as Beaubois hits on his 18th three-pointer of the season.
And Coach, I really like how Roddy increased the spacing so that Sessions had to really commit on that double team. That was really smart on his part.
And a good find on the pass. There's the spin lob.
Damian Wilkins looking for Kevin Love. Foul on Drew Gooden for his first. First team foul with 36 seconds gone by in the second.
Love's got 7 rebounds already, guys. He's an unimpressive rebounder until you look at the numbers. I mean, because
they're outrageous.
Yeah, he doesn't have the great vertical thing. He outworks people.
to the tune of nearly 12 rebounds a game this year in about 30 minutes.
You got to love it. I mean, 12 rebounds in 30 minutes.
Wayne Ellington for 3. That's the 5th 3 made by Minnesota so far.
They're not hesitant on those threes.
And they're a team that came into the game shooting 32% this year. 4th worst on threes. Minute off the clock of the second quarter. That broke the tie after Beaubois had evened the score with a 3-pointer of his own. He drives and commits an offensive foul.
I really believe Beaubois had his mind made up that he was going to get the ball back to Dirk, and he was kind of looking for him and didn't pay a lot of attention to that defender who was square up in front of him. See right here, he knows where he's going with the ball. He made that contact. I believe that was the right call.
His second foul. Collins with a jumper that goes in. You know, as Beaubois becomes a more regular member of the rotation, talking with Rick Carlisle before the game, what sort of mistakes are you going to be tolerant of, because he's a rookie and he's obviously going to make them, and if he's going to play more, then what are the expectations and what are good mistakes and what are mistakes that could get you back on the bench?
The mental mistakes, that's where it'll add up.
Being aggressive is okay. It's the mental mistakes.
I really believe that's what, if a coach sees mental mistake after mental mistake, then you've got to do something about that. The only way you get the players' attention is to help him find a seat on the bench. But I think Beaubois is going to work his way through that. I think he already has in many respects from when I first saw him in summer league practice.
6-second chance points now for Dallas on that good and follow a moment ago. Here is Sessions, and another one beats the shot clock. Minnesota has lived tonight on 3-pointers and shot clock buzzer beaters here in the first quarter and 2.5 minutes. And that's why they're in front 39-34. They're shooting 60%. In the lane, Dirk doesn't get the roll. Trying to get it back. It's through Ross's hands, but was last touched by the T-Wolves. Dallas ball with a new shot clock. The lineup for Dallas, the same one that started the second quarter. No lineup changes made so far. Minnesota's getting ready to make a change. They sent Al Jefferson to the scorer's table.
He's had a pretty good rest.
Damian Wilkins fouls Dirk. 30-year-old. Wilkins in his first year with Minnesota, averaging 6 points a game, just committed the foul. And he goes out, so does Kevin Love. Jefferson and Ryan Gomes return for Minnesota. 16 to shoot. That's Minnesota's first team foul of the second quarter. And he's fouled. 2 team fouls now on the T-Wolves. Fouls on Al Jefferson. First foul on Jefferson, sending Drew Gooden to the free throw line. Went 6 of 6 at the line in the game on Wednesday, and has raised his shooting at the free throw line this year to nearly 79%.
And guys, Jefferson isn't comfortable covering out on the perimeter like that, so if he's going to have to check Drew Gooden, that's an opportunity for Gooden to floor it.
Yeah, as good as Jefferson is, lateral movement is not one of his strengths.
Right. Dallas trying to pull to within 3. There's a line for Gooden against the Warriors the other night. That's the 12th game this year that Gooden has played without Dampier appearing. And in those 12 games, he's really helped pick up the slack at nearly 12 boards and 11 rebounds. And Beaubois, there's an aggressive play that results in Dallas getting the ball back.
Almost had the outright steal.
Ends up knocking it out of bounds off Ramon Sessions. Turnover forced. The third one of the game committed by the Timberwolves. Corey Brewer in for Wayne Ellington.
And that's the thing about having those deceptively long arms. They think they can make that pass, and those arms just seem to get longer on you.
At draft time, Beaubois' wingspan on most of the draft-related websites was reported to be between 6'9" and 6'10". Jefferson the rebound off the miss by Quentin Ross. Cavs have not led in this game. There have been 2 ties. One very early in the first, and one here in the second quarter at 32-32. Double team on Al Jefferson. Steps back to the corner. Here they are at the end of the shot clock. Collins didn't get it away in time. Shot clock violation committed by the Timberwolves. There's a dead ball and a timeout on the floor. 8:34 remaining in the second quarter, and Minnesota leads Dallas. Roddy Beaubois came into the game with the first, tied the game with a 3 in the second, and we'll be talking about Roddy when we return. At the 2 guard because of injuries and starting off the ball. Although, as I say that, he's been playing the 1 since he came into the game in the first quarter. The Kid's back now, so he can play alongside Kidd in the backcourt, and Dirk drives and earns a trip to the line.
I like the drive by Dirk Nowitzki that time because he frequently finishes on those or gets to the free throw line. You're going to make those big guys inside from Minnesota, make them show that they can defend the drive. I don't think they can defend that nearly as well as they can defend the jump shot.
You know, I think what's happened with Beaubois over 49 games and now tonight being game number 50 is soaking up information, being mentored by Jason Kidd. It was one thing to step in and play some 2-guard minutes earlier in the season, but entrusting the rookie with running the offense is an entirely different responsibility on his shoulders, and he appears to be handling it. You know, a few bumps in the road, but overall, I think you have to like what you're seeing, Bob.
I think he's a pretty bright kid, and you know, I think he will be a good learner and a quick learner. And we're looking at a guy that's you know, just getting started in this league.
Deflection goes out to Gomes. Three-pointer Brewer around and out. Dirk rebounds.
Take a look at the number of years of experience on the floor with Beaubois.
That certainly helps. You've got Kidd in his 16th year, Dirk in his 12th year, Gooden in his 8th, Marion in his 11th, and it's Nowitzki hitting, and it's Dallas leading for the first time.
That's a lot of years of experience that you just rattled off right there.
Beaubois played 3 years professionally in France. That's his only experience. 32nd game of his rookie season. There's a tip in by Jefferson to put Minnesota back in front. Screen by Marion, Kidd the lob, and it was deflected by Sessions, but the Mavs keep it. Late in the shot clock. 6 seconds. Down to Gooden. Hook shot over Jefferson. Rebound Ryan Hollins. Missed the layup. Gooden the rebound. Dirk tipped it to him. Now Beaubois, good decision on the break to Marion, who scoops it in.
That was the right decision too. Had he kept that ball, he might have come out of the ball game because that's the easiest way in the world to teach that. It was the right decision and a good pass.
Mavs back in front. Gomes to put Minnesota on top, and he rattles one in. Dampier and Terry are at the scorer's table for Rick Carlisle. Marion on the drive comes up short on the floater. This is the first time in a while we've seen Marion have an off shooting night. Over 59% for the floor in the last 15 games, with Marion just 2 for 6 this season. Pinball's out of bounds, off Dirk. Minnesota ball, 13 to shoot. T-Wolves lead by 1. Johnny Flynn back in for Minnesota, and Beaubois and Gooden have gone out in favor of Terry and Dampier for Dallas. Assistant coach Dwayne Casey with some words of instruction for Beaubois as he goes to the bench. And Ryan Gomes triggers into Johnny Flynn. Now Gomes spots up the 3. And those threes that were falling early, as Minnesota started by making 5 of their first 6, they haven't dropped in their last 2 attempts from long range. Marion for the Dallas lead. The timeout coming up for the next tip ball inside of 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Hollins and Dirk battling for position down on the block. Hollins now steps out and faces him up. Spin move. Hollins goes falling out of bounds, and then Jefferson makes a hook shot.
It's a little bit of that, you know, he faced up, but when he ended up getting the shot, it was back to the basket. Over that left shoulder.
Timeout, Dallas.
45-42 Minnesota. Timeout called by Dallas. 5:31 left in the second quarter, and let's go back to the studio for the Chevy Shot Clock game break.
And welcome into the Fox Sports Southwest studios for your Chevy Game Break. I'm Rick Renner. Let's check other action in the division. Houston and Memphis. Chucky Hayes to Trevor Ariza, and it's a 12-7 game. But then O.J. Mayo, the parting of the Red Rockets sea. And the Rockets are in a battle with Memphis.
The Mavs on Fox. Final game at American Airlines Center before the NBA All-Star break. The Mavs are on the road to play Golden State Monday and Denver on Tuesday. And then the fun starts here in the Metroplex as the NBA world converges on Dallas-Fort Worth for NBA All-Star Weekend.
What are you going to be doing All-Star Weekend, Followell?
Lots of stuff. I understand that you're the man about town, so I'm hanging out with you.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Awesome. I got you hooked up, player.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll make sure you guys have my phone number. If both of you need help, you can call me.
You would not answer your phone if I called you in the middle of the night?
Yes, I would.
What is Skin doing? He's lost his mind.
Kid goes to Terry. Oh, nice pass. Quickly moving it along in the lane, and Dampier follows home his own miss.
It was a good pass by Terry. Good quick pass.
Defense.
Dampier, who did not play the other night against Golden State, has 4 tonight. Loose ball foul here on Minnesota after the runner in the lane was missed by Johnny Flynn. Kevin Love called for his second foul. Minnesota's 4th team foul of the second quarter.
I'm really impressed with how hard he works on the board. Love that time was trying to tip it in with his right hand, but moving anybody that got close to him with his left.
He really is a throwback. Do you guys remember? There's an offensive foul. Do you guys remember the story around draft time that he could throw a baseline to baseline two-hand chest pass?
Yes.
That is very impressive.
Tremendous passer, and especially outlet passer.
First guy I ever saw do that in person was Wesley Unseld.
Fine outlet passer himself.
Ooh. Make an outlet pass on a rebound before he came down to the floor.
Flynn in the corner. Stumbles around a screen. Now the hard drive, and it is out of bounds. Now they indicate Dallas ball, but James.
When Tom Sterner puts the ball up, one of the assistant coaches.
Howard in the fast break for the score, and Dallas goes back in front.
That was nice. And the reason you use the trash can lid is back in those days, you didn't have money to buy all the stuff they buy now. So you had to, you know, I used to defend big guys with a tennis racket. You make your big guys go up over your tennis racket. Yep.
It's amazing how creative you can be when you have to be, right?
And you also use football blocking dummies and just nail guys inside and go to the basket.
Pass fake. Howard draws a foul. 5 of the quarter now in Minnesota.
I can't imagine a louder basketball drill than throwing that thing up there with those old tin can, trash can lids making all that noise up there.
Well, you had the time to the rim, but it did make a lot of
noise. I like the new Rubbermaid style. I think that's better for that drill in the modern age.
I'm sure Bob had people dribbling in and out of desks.
Oh, chairs.
Chairs.
Around chairs. All kinds of stuff. A lot of jumping rope. Speaking of jumping rope, getting up and down the floor and moving. Mavericks, excellent pass up the floor to Nowitzki. Nowitzki finds Howard. And that's attacking, really attacking and getting after.
11 fast break points for Dallas. 3:57 remaining in the second as Dirk goes back to the bench.
I'll tell you what, Minnesota plays pretty well in here. The Mavericks have beaten Minnesota 7 consecutive times. All 7 wins, single digit.
7 consecutive games here. Overall, 13 consecutive wins. But
here.
7 here, yes, all by single digits. Steal by Kidd. Mavericks look to extend the lead to 5, and they do. Jason Terry hits the 3. His first one of the game. The Mavericks, 4th from long range. Maverick defense has improved here as well in the second quarter. Well, they continue to shoot the ball well at over 51%. Collins, shot clock at 2. He just glanced to the other end to look at it. Misses the forced rushed shot. Again, Terry for 3. On the left side this time. Yes, sir. And underneath the basket, the foul has been called as well. They called a foul here on Eric Dampier under the basket. Are they going to score it or wave it off?
No, it's good.
They will score the basket. And a foul on Dampier as the shot went in.
And guys, that fast break opportunity was a classic example of why sometimes you don't want your point guard to crash the glass. You get those members going back the other way.
11-0 run for Dallas. Dampier just got his third foul, but the basket still counted. A three-pointer for Jason Terry to put Dallas up 8.
Great job of attacking. You may get a layup. You may pull up and get a wide open three. If you've got good three-point shooters, let them shoot it. Jet can do that. It is hard work. And those first few steps out of the back court, that's what enables you to have an advantage when you finally get into the front court and closer to the basket. If you're slow on those first 2 or 3, 4 steps, you're just going to be even with those opponents, or you're going to be behind them, one of the two.
Carlisle said before the game tonight that he thinks that they can. You heard some of it in the soundbite. Play at a faster pace. It's something that they have said all year long that they wanted to do, and there was a re-emphasis placed on it yesterday in practice. 11-0 run in progress right now for Dallas. Ryan Gomes just missed for Minnesota, and a turnover committed by the Mavs. There's 7 to the first half. Mavericks in front here by 8 with 2:55 remaining in the second quarter. Dallas led by 11 tonight from Jason Terry, making his 9th consecutive start. Dirk has 8, and Roddy Beaubois has 7. Johnny Flynn onto the dribble, late into the possession, drives the lane and gets blocked. Howard goes back to Terry. Oh, pretty pass. The reverse is missed. Howard gets it back, and this time, no doubt about it on the finish.
Johnny Flynn gets the dribbling the basketball in the last possession there, and he sees nothing. He doesn't see anybody. He's just dribbling the basketball. And you can't run an offense if you can be the point guard and do things like that. And that's really cost Minnesota a lot of victories.
And then at the other end, you get Dallas on the run-out situation to make it a 13-0 run. They just defended well here, the Mavericks did, with Drew Gooden right there to meet the challenge of Kevin Love. Knocked it out of bounds, and with 13 on the shot clock, Corey Brewer getting ready to throw in.
I like your point about them defending well. Rick Carlisle also mentioned that before the game, talking about, hey, it starts with getting defensive stops. That's how you get out in transition. They have been scrambling here in this quarter.
Ryan Hollins back in the game, catches in the paint, and ends a 13-0 Dallas run.
You know, we were talking on a break about how Hollins puts the ball on the floor. Catch,
right
boom,
up.
went right up in the air,
Yes,
got the shot. There's no need for him to put the ball down the floor. He doesn't go any place when he does it. And the dribble is supposed to be used to go something.
Marion in the lane, and a quick move made by Marion.
There's a great example of not using a dribble. Didn't need a dribble. It's on Marion. Well done.
Mavericks have 24 points in the paint. After allowing 32 points in the first quarter, Dallas's defense has held Minnesota to 15 as we approach 1:38 remaining in the second.
Watch the interior pass here. That's just outstanding. Marion takes that pass, no need to put it down, finishes with the left hand. Josh Howard finds his teammate. And once again, you get a little bit of size, a little bit of quickness on those wing positions. You've got Marion and Howard playing together again, and that's something that everybody expected to see from the very, very beginning, and that's always been there.
Down low, Kevin Love, the dunk. Sessions got the ball back after losing it and found Love for the slam. 8-point Mav lead. Approaching the end of the first half. Did the pass. Terry's 3. Got free on a Gooden back screen. And then going after the rebound, it's knocked out of bounds by the Mavs. Minnesota ball with 1:08 left in the quarter. Atlanta rookie from Syracuse. Taken 6th last summer. Drives, blocked by Kidd. Bounds off foot. 15 to shoot at 56.9 left in the half. Goes into Hollins. Draws a foul. 25-year-old native of Pasadena, California. 2.5 years with the Bobcats, a half season last year with Dallas, and now a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves after signing with them as a free agent in the offseason.
Mark, a second ago when you reminded us that Johnny Flynn taken in the lottery there, the 6th pick, it reminded me that they're also sitting on the rights to Ricky Rubio.
That's right.
More young, good talent that's not even on their roster right now. They're so young, they got young guys that aren't even on their team yet that they have the rights to.
Gooden out. Dirk back in with 53.4 left in the half. Rubio was taken 5th. And Flynn was taken 6th last summer. And the reason that Minnesota got the 5th pick to take Rubio is because they traded Randy Foye and Mike Miller to the Washington Wizards. They got the rights to the 5th selection.
Well, they gave up a pretty good player in Foye, I'm telling you.
I'm a big Randy Foye fan. I like his ability to stick the ball in the basket.
And a good shooter in Mike Miller, who is a good presence, veteran presence to have around young players, I think. And when will Rubio make his way to these shores? Who knows? Everyone anxiously awaiting it, though, as Howard is fouled in the act of shooting. Foul on Brewer. And Josh Howard steps to the free throw line, looking to be the second Mav into double digits. Had 19 points on 9 of 15 shooting against Golden State. His second highest scoring game of the season against the Warriors on Wednesday night. Here he is at 10 points. He was fouled by Brewer for Brewer's second. And Brewer goes out in favor of Damian Wilkins. The line for Josh Howard tonight. That puts him at 11 points. And the Mavs continue to shoot free throws well. 12 of 14 tonight. Over the last 8 games, the Mavs are shooting 89.3% at the free throw line. 3-point try, and that'll get them a 2 for 1 as it was hit with 26.7. Johnny Flynn buries it. The 6th Minnesota 3 of the first half. Howard matches up against Sessions and then flicks it over to Terry. No foul to give. Both teams are over the limit. Marion slipped the pick, drives to the hole, doesn't finish, gets it back, and now he finishes, getting the bounce at 1.1.
That's Howard and Marion on that offensive glass again.
They put 1.5 on the clock now. They've had it just a little bit of time, and the Mavericks get their 13th and 14th second chance points in the first half. Up ahead to Damian Wilkins. Howard forced a shot fake, but Wilkins hit it.
Well, there'll be another review on this one.
There was a review for a basket that did not count at the end of the first quarter. There is a review coming here for a basket that may be counting. It's close, but it has been ruled to count, and they will review it. Before we go to break, let's look at it. They throw it into Wilkins. No pressure on the pass. There was an attempt by Howard to close out on the shooter, but even with the shot fake, he still had time, as you see, to knock it down. And so that gets Minnesota to within 4. That's okay, because that was the night that Texas beat USC in the Rose Bowl. Ryan Hollins with the score. You saw a close-up shot of Dirk a moment ago. Dirk is starting in the third quarter. He did not start the game tonight. Was late for the Mavs shoot-around before the game, so did not check in until about 5.5 minutes gone by in the game. He misses on a shot inside and couldn't gather in an offensive rebound for a follow attempt. Here are the Timberwolves, who got hit in the mouth with a 13-0 Dallas run late in the second quarter, but bounced back with some late threes. And Hollins score to start the third quarter has them right on the lip of the cup again. They are just 2 points behind Dallas as we play here in the opening minute of the second half.
That three-pointer they made at the end of that first half, it's a much bigger three-pointer than a lot of people realize. It really cuts into that lead.
Flynn had one late in the half, too. Al Jefferson against Dan Pierre. And a cross-court pass as the shot clock buzzer was sounding anyway. Goes off the hand of Corey Brewer and out of bounds.
You got to know where that shot clock is. You can't make that pass. You've got to force it up, especially when you're a big, strong guy like Jefferson is.
Jefferson and Dan Pierre share a common background, as those two were just matched up a moment ago. Jefferson was born in Monticello, Mississippi, the county seat of Lawrence County in Mississippi. That's where Lawrence County High School is, where Eric Dampier went to high school. Jefferson went to high school down the road a little bit in Prentice, Mississippi. Handoff from Jefferson to Brewer, driving baseline. Knocked away by the Mavs, recovered by Brewer. 3 by Gomes gives Minnesota the lead. And that is the 8th three-pointer of the game, hit by Minnesota.
A little bit out of character, is it not?
Yeah, 32% for the year. Fourth worst in the league shooting percentage-wise from three, but tonight 8 out of 11 from long range for the Timberwolves. They're trying to deny Dirk, and Corey Brewer got in front, knocked it out of bounds. 5 on the shot clock. Mavs will throw in with 10:17 to go in the third.
That's where you got to fake that pass to Dirk. He's got a spin lob, and then you just give it to him on a back cut or a spin lob.
Terry to the baseline.
Wide open.
In the backcourt, it was deflected. Now Johnny Flynn. And Minnesota started with 7 in a row at the beginning of the third quarter, and Rick Carlisle with a quick timeout. Full with 10:02 left in the third quarter. Union Arena, the hometown hero was Rolando Blackman, one of his 4 All-Star game appearances. You see him getting a putback, making a great assist pass, and a cornerstone of those teams in the 80s for Dallas, Rolando Blackman. Owner Don Carter cheering on, and in our next 2 telecasts, we should note that there will be some never-before-seen photographs relating to NBA All-Star Weekend in Dallas in 1986 to get you geared up for what should be just a wonderful weekend next week.
When I see that vintage footage with those shorts, I'm so glad it's not in high def. You know, I like it looking just the way it is.
Ryan Hollins over just scored for Dallas a moment ago to get them back to within 1. There have been 2 13-0 runs in this game. Dallas had one in the second quarter, and Minnesota had one by scoring the last 6 of the second quarter and the first 7 of the third quarter before that Dirk basket a moment ago. A turnover committed there by Marion as he lost it out of bounds. Corner shot by Brewer. That's a three-point try. Dampier rebound. Not to oversell, but I do think we have some very good photos coming. Our next 2 telecasts to share with you some memories of days gone by and get you ready for NBA All-Star 2010.
Some photos that nobody's ever seen.
They're very exclusive to the Mavs broadcast. Shot is on the money for Johnny Flynn. Tonight, Flynn has 11. One of 3 players from Minnesota with 11 apiece, Jefferson and Hollins as well. Third straight double-digit game for Hollins. Driving Jason Terry to the baseline and over the outstretched hand of Ryan Gomes, who challenged the shot. Terry drops it in.
He is so good at that. When he goes to his right hand, pulls up off that dribble, he is just so good at that.
Offensive foul, Ryan Hollins. Second foul on Hollins. Kurt Rambis had some instruction for Johnny Flynn. Flynn defending Kidd. Over to Terry, who's checked by Brewer. Once again, Terry to the right baseline. Looking for the sweet spot. Rimmed out the jumper. Jefferson rebounds, and the pull-up is hit by Brewer.
He's definitely playing with as much confidence as we've seen since he's been in the league. He's making those shots and taking it with confidence.
Third year from Florida. Only played 15 games before blowing out a knee last year. And he knocked that pass away that was intended for Terry. Redirected it to Flynn, and then Flynn is fouled. First foul on Jason Terry. Mavericks with their first team foul. 7:43 to go in the third. And a trip to the free throw line for Johnny Flynn, the rookie, who spent 2 years at Syracuse, averaging 14 points a game. Tomorrow, he celebrates his 21st birthday. Native of Niagara Falls, New York. He did a couple of noteworthy things at Syracuse. He broke Carmelo Anthony's freshman debut scoring record with 28 points in his first game. And last year in that thrilling 6 overtime game against Connecticut in the Big East tournament, he played 67 of a possible 70 minutes.
That was the night that Twitter really grabbed my attention, as everyone I know was tweeting that game something fierce.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yes, sir.
Dirk, the back down, gets doubled. Kidd finds Terry. Minnesota recovers on defense, and Terry loses it, and the shot clock runs out. That was one of the more aggressive Minnesota defensive series of the game, and it results in a Dallas turnover on the shot clock violation. They played defense there like a team that does not look 11-38.
I agree with that.
Brewer pulls the trigger on a long two-pointer. Trailing the play, Dirk will step into a transition three. Marion kept it alive. That's how we see Dirk get the bulk of his threes nowadays. It's only 77th he's attempted this year. Long rebound to Al Jefferson off the miss by Johnny Flynn.
Those guys keep putting up jump shots, and they got Jefferson down low, won't give him the ball.
Jefferson has 6 shot attempts. He's made 5.
That's my point.
But it goes out to Gomes, and he hits what they rule a 3 that they are going to review at some point. James Capers, the crew chief, made the indication to the table that they want to review it. Jason Kidd to answer. And it goes out to Kidd, driving inside. Kidd misses, got it back again. Now he scores with a foul.
Not only a good second effort, but a good third effort.
Some persistence by Jason Kidd as he is fouled in the act of shooting. Score the basket. 3-point play opportunity.
This is why he's the best rebounding guard in the league. Look at him in there with the big guys battling. He comes away with that offensive rebound, goes with the left hand, gets the rebound here, comes up with the left hand, uses the basket to protect himself a little bit and scores.
And Big Dam did such a good job of sealing off to help defenders to allow Kidd to get all that done.
Kevin Love in for Al Jefferson.
But it's going to be reviewed at the next timeout.
Minnesota's last basket will be reviewed. It was scored as a 3.
They have now come to the table and said that they've scored that last basket for Minnesota a 2 to make it 71 for Minnesota. Dallas just getting their 68th point on the Kidd 3-point play. They will review that basket that was scored a moment ago by Gomes. So the ruling is it was a 2. It will be reviewed. Gomes is fouled and will go to the free throw line. And in those situations, during play in the first, second, and third, and early part of the fourth quarters, you don't review those until the next timeout is taken. And at this point,